We're now live. Hi everybody, I'm Nancy Scott with Masterpiece Quilting. Welcome to the Quilters Candy Virtual Trunk Show. We're going to give a few seconds here for everything to come up live. I'm watching over here on my laptop so I can see when I'm actually broadcasting. Okay, I can see myself now. Looks like we are live. Hey, welcome everybody. If you would, in the comments, go ahead and just list where you are from. That way we can kind of see how many different people from how many different states and countries are participating today. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Nancy Scott. I own Masterpiece Quilting. I've been working in the quilting industry full-time for the last 14 years. I do long arming and don't do very much of it anymore, but used to do a lot of long arming, worked in long arm sales, now focus on quilt pattern design, writing books, and teaching online classes. And I'm super excited that you're here. Obviously, you're at home and I'm at home in my home studio too. I do have a live studio audience here today, and hopefully you will not see them, but of course I think one of them is coming into view right now. We have Miss Ruby, the Corgi pup, we've got Lily, and we have Zoe. They're off camera. And my daughter Aubrey is also off camera. She's on the other computer, and she's loading some things into the comments for me. So let's go ahead and get started. I guess you can't see Ruby. She's right down here. But if you hear collars, barking, whatever, we're all loaded with treats, so we're going to be treating the dogs as we go. Behind me is Barnrays Birds. I've got a total of 6 quilts I want to talk about today, 6 different patterns. And this is one of my favorite patterns. I would define myself as a modern traditional quilt designer. I grew up with a grandmother who quilted, so very steeped in those traditional blocks, the log cabins, the feathered stars, the lone stars, all that really traditional, but I kind of like that modern edge. And this one combines a little bit of both. It is a batik, and it is a completely stash-friendly quilt. So if you're at home, your local fabric store isn't available to you, dig through your stash, and this is the perfect pattern to use a lot of different prints into. We're basically just working with lights and darks in a variety of colors and coming up with an absolutely beautiful quilt. Yes, I can see Miss Ruby kind of cruising through. She is like just literally laying right out here. I hope you guys are all giving me smiles because of Ruby coming through. That's Barnrays Birds. Dots and Dashes is the next quilt I want to show you. And I, just like at home, you know, didn't spend a lot of time digging out or pressing the quilts. Here is Dots and Dashes. It is made with Island Batik fabrics. I'm not this year, but a few years ago, I was an Island Batik ambassador for a couple of years working with their beautiful fabrics. And this is one of the quilts that I made with it. Again, that modern traditional, a little bit of raw edge fusible applique for the circles, and then some strips. This one is available as a pattern. This was the first version of the quilt that I made. Second version is the pattern cover, and it is with the Ancient Etchings collection by Jackie Kunkel, and it is currently coming into stores right now. So when you get a chance to get to your local quilt shop, be sure to ask them about that Ancient Etchings collection that is available. So this is Dots and Dashes. Trying to watch the time here because I want to stay really close to 15 minutes because I know you guys want to pop in and out and see all the different designers. But then you still have things that you might want to do. Next is Modern Chain. And let me make sure I get to the top. Like I said, that little bit of modern and a little bit of traditional. So the modern chain quilt pulls together that perfectly. We've got a traditional chain, and chains are one of my favorite things, but a whole lot of white space that we can really show off some modern quilting, a modern look. This one, the pattern is also available for, and Aubrey has loaded into the comments the links for all of the patterns. And I'm pretty sure I've got them in my Etsy store right now just to make it convenient for everybody. And there should be both PDF and print versions in there. So if you need immediate gratification, go ahead and go with the PDF. Or if you have any concerns about disease transmission on paper, just download the PDF. You've got complete control over that. If you prefer a print pattern, let me know. I'm not sure I've got all of them uploaded, but I can sure get you one. So modern chain. And to give you an idea, if you're not into that really super modern look, I did the first version of modern chain in batiks. So this gives you an idea what the quilt looks like, not with the stark white background. I know not everybody likes the super white quilts, because when you're using them functionally, obviously you know, if you've got dogs, the dogs are on the quilts and the quilts get dirty. Hey, I understand that right on. So this is the version that I made with more of a tonal batik for the background area, and then just use some strips for the chains. Okay, what do I have up next is one of my first quilts that I designed. I've done a lot of work with magazines and fabric companies, and when I designed this quilt, I was like, okay, I can't sell it. I need to keep this one for myself. So this is Starry Sky. And we've got it in the blue colorway. Again, kind of a modern traditional, made with batiks. I like batiks, in case you hadn't figured that out by now. I do like batiks. And what's really comical right now is like literally just right outside, like right past my feet is where Ruby is laying chewing on her bone. So, you know, she's like helping with the Facebook Live, but she's not really in it. So modern blocks with a fun, little bit more traditional setting. That was the batik version. Now for the modern version. For those of you who love the whites, Starry Sky in, I call it Starry Sky in Aqua. So this is the aqua version, much more modern. But again, those traditional blocks with a very modern setting. Got the whites and then 3 different shades of aqua. If you're looking for the pattern, I've got it both print and PDF. You're gonna see the blue version on the cover. The aqua version is inside, but the blue version is on the cover. So if you're looking for the pattern, it's called Starry Sky, but you're gonna be looking for the blue picture on the front. The next one I want to talk about, the quilt it's touring right now. I'm not exactly sure where it is. It's called Stack Deck. It's made with Island Batik fabrics. It was at, let's see, I've lost track. Today is Wednesday, April 1st. It was at Fall Market last year in October in Houston in the Island Batik booth. The fabric is shipping to stores about right now. So the quilt hopefully is making a tour with Island Batik quilts through various local quilt shops. So again, like I always say, we're all in this together. Whether we're customers, local quilt shops, fabric designers, pattern designers, fabric companies. We're all in this together. We all depend on each other. So if you are at your local quilt shop when it's open, or if you're working with them online, ask them about some of the Island Batik fabrics. This one is called Wonderland, and the pattern is Stacked Deck. The fabric should be showing up at the local quilt shops, if they aren't already, very soon now. So we want to keep the fabric coming. Okay, what do we got left? Strips, sunburst strips and squares. Excuse me while I kick a dog toy out of the way. Hey, it's real life here, folks. Yeah. This is, I'll just hold it up and then I'll talk about it. Okay, this is sunburst strips and squares. This quilt I originally made for Timeless Treasures, and it uses their fabrics in it in the first version. It is designed for 2.5-inch strips, for a roll of 2.5-inch strips, then with a coordinating fabric. And this is my best-selling pattern. It's one of my favorites, but it is my best-selling pattern. Just plain and simple. I've made it in several different versions. Here is kind of an autumnal version with more of the warm colors, beige coordinating fabric, but then going into it with some rust, some greens, some burgundies. I do have a few kits left from when I was doing shows a couple years ago when this first came out. I'm gonna get those kits loaded onto Etsy. I'll probably do that yet this afternoon, get some photographs and kits. I don't have a lot of them, but what I've got, I'll get them on there, because if you guys are at home sewing and can't get to fabric or don't have fabric in these colorways, I can pop up those kits. There's not going to be gobs of them, but there will be a few. So we've got it in this colorway, and let me grab down here. I'll just kind of flip this up. I've got it in a second colorway here. Actually, let me just pull it out. So here's a little bit lighter, and brighter. So 2.5-inch pre-cut strips. It is designed that you just need one roll of those, and then the coordinating fabric. And of course, if you don't have a jelly roll or a roll of pre-cut strips, you can always cut stash fabrics to make those. I've had a lot of people make this quilt, and what they will do is with a granddaughter or a grandson or niece, somebody that they want to make a quilt for, they take them to the quilt store, and it's so easy to pick the fabric when all you have to do is pick out one roll, and then you can add in that coordinating fabric. So this one makes it really quick and easy to do that. Simple piecing, lots of straight lines. So kind of a very trendy, modernish quilt. Hey, I am doing really good here. I was wanting to keep this to under 15 minutes, and it looks like I am going to. I'm not going to take time right now to scroll back through all the comments and answer everything, but if you've got questions, comments, need more information, make sure you post them. I will hop back in and answer all of those to you individually. We are at 1:14. And I wanted to be finished by 1:15, so I'm really proud of myself because I talk fast, but I can also talk really, really long. Up next in the Quilt Candy Virtual Trunk Show is going to be Becky Jorgensen. She is going to be on her page, Patchwork Posse, at 2 p.m. I feel like right now all we're running is posses with all of us at home together. But hey, that's what makes it fun. That's what lets us reach out to you guys and let you guys see what we're working on in our studios and what the quilts are that we have made. So I want to quickly thank each and every one of you for joining me today in this Quilt Candy Virtual Trunk Show. Make sure you follow every hour. We're going to be on a different page. We've got lots of lists posted on social media. So make sure you go through, follow everybody's page, so that way you'll get notifications that they're coming live. But up next is Becky, and I cannot wait to see what Becky has to share with us. So if you want to, go ahead and head to her Patchwork Posse page, or you'll be ready for that at 2 o'clock. Again, my name is Nancy Scott with Masterpiece Quilting, And thank you. Thank you for letting me into your homes this afternoon for this really quick virtual trunk show. Bye. Be well. Be safe. Bye-bye.